If you want to know how to book a hotel for an international EDM festival, keep watching. I will be attending Tomorrowland, Brazil in just a few weeks. So I did book the Global Journey package, and in that package comes with a hotel that provides the shuttle to get to and from the festival. However, I will be spending some extra time in Brazil, so I need to book my own accommodations for that. Booking international accommodations to a country that you've never been to can be kind of intimidating or really scary if you've obviously never been to that country, if you don't know anybody from there to give you recommendations, if you don't know which area is safe, and if you don't speak the language. So I'm going to show you how I go about booking international travel. And just a reminder, I have been to over 20 countries, so I have booked a lot of my own accommodations. Step 1, always check the website first. For one, it'll give you the exact location of the festival. So in this case, it tells me where the festival is going to be held, and then it's the city of Itu, located in the state of Sao Paulo, Brazil. So also, not only are you going to get the exact location of the festival, sometimes the official website will have recommended hotels in the surrounding areas. Step 2, you want to look at a map of the city. So it's your first time in Sao Paulo, you're like, oh my God, where do I even begin? This is where it can get intimidating, but don't worry. Next, it's time to get more specific. So what I did is I mapped from the airport that I'm flying into to the total distance of the actual Tomorrowland hotel that I'm checking into. So then what I'll do is I'll start looking along the path to see like a halfway point between the hotel and the actual Tomorrowland hotel, because there is going to be a night that I'm spending just in the city having fun in Sao Paulo. So ideally I want to get something that's like halfway or closer to the Tomorrowland hotel, because look at this. Like, yes, this is just this time right now that it's showing that the travel time is 2 hours and 6 minutes. So obviously I wouldn't want to book a hotel close to the airport and then traveling 2 hours the day of to the Tomorrowland hotel. So I want to get somewhere in between. And also, like, we're looking at this map in like the full like city state area. I want to experience Sao Paulo, the city life. So obviously I wouldn't want to get something so close to the Tomorrowland hotel. Like, look, where it gets all green, like that's not something I'd want to do. So now I'm going to narrow down my search into like this little halfway area, and I'll show you how I do that. To find out which neighborhoods and areas are safe for travelers or highly recommended, if I don't know somebody that is personally from that place or have never been, YouTube is my go-to girl. So what I do is best neighborhoods to stay in Sao Paulo, and normally there are YouTubes already out there of like the highly recommended neighborhoods, the touristy spots, places that are safe. And if not YouTube, then our girl TikTok will come through, and Google is also such a great source. So I googled safest places to stay in Sao Paulo. After doing my research, I narrowed it down to 3 different areas, and what I came across was that Via Madalena had the most to offer, like fun stuff to do, that it was safe. And I need to make sure, it's like, even though this neighborhood sounds cool and it's fun, how am I going to get from there to Tomorrowland, Brazil? So I also did my research on modes of transportation. So from my research, it said that the metro and the surface trains are easier to get around this area that you're in, but I'm going from like one city state to the next, so I needed to see all my options. So Uber is a thing there, and I did map it from Via Madalena all the way to Itu, and this is by car, so it's about a 1 hour 6 minute drive by car. Obviously, if you take a train or a bus, it's going to add longer, but I was like, this seems like a good area. It's not that far from the festival. It's pretty manageable. So this is why I decided on Via Madalena, aside from it being safe and things like that. Like, it gives me like a list of things to do. So this is from another blogger that I found, and they give a little bit of recommendations, and it's just fun for tourists. It's safe, and it just seems like a good area. Now that I know which area of Sao Paulo I want to stay in, I use Expedia as a reference only. I don't like to book through Expedia or third-party websites. I like to book directly with the hotel, but I just use Expedia to kind of narrow down my search for me. So now I've traveled the world. I'm in my 30s now. I don't like cheap, unsafe travel. I would spend a little bit more money to get everything that I need. So I do apply filters, so it's cut off, but I do apply 4 to 5 stars. I narrowed down my price. So Brazil's fairly affordable for an American. So I just put 90 as the base. Like, it's only one night, so let's be for real. We don't need to have some extravagant stay. And then I want anything with the rating above 7. So safety is my #1 priority. So let's want to make sure this hotel is safe, it's clean, it's in a desirable area. So that's why I put these filters in place to narrow down the best hotels. And then once I find the best hotels that I like in the area, read the reviews. read those damn reviews to make sure that other people have stayed there and feel safe, can vouch for the area, appreciate a good clean room, things like that. I narrowed down my choice of hotels to about 3. In this case, I'm going with one other person, Alyssa, the corporate raver, and so her and I will decide together which ones we like after reading the reviews, making sure the price is good, making sure that it's in a good area, and also to the distance to the Tomorrowland hotel. I want to make sure of that as well. Like, I know I mapped the neighborhood and I want to be pretty, close, and so I want to make sure the hotel is still like a drivable distance, or if we have to take public transportation, we can do that as well. And earlier, I know I mentioned, like, I'm in my 30s. I don't want to do hostels anymore. Like, I'm past that point in my life. You could make this a lot more affordable, but I'm not a hostel girl. I'm not doing that, so I'd rather spend more money to get a private room to myself. But also, too, when you're doing international travel, this really isn't the time to be like super cheap just to save money. Like, you want to make sure, again, of safety. Like, make sure that that is the number one priority in anything. But I'm sure there are still very affordable hostels that are in safe and well-kept areas. And that is how I book a hotel in a foreign country for an EDM festival.